A prolonged closure of the Straits of Hormuz could push oil prices to more than $100 a barrel. Repeat, could. Former Energy Secretary Rick Perry joins me now. Mr. Secretary, first of all, we're told that the straits are effectively closed right now, but that's only because ships are unwilling to sail through and take the risk of attack. If I may express an opinion, I don't think the Iranians are capable of closing the Straits of Hormuz. What say you?
Yeah, Stuart, I think you're spot on there. They spew a lot of rhetoric from time to time, and by and large, it doesn't follow through. Doesn't happen. It's not a reality. It's just a public relations effort by them, I guess, to make themselves feel better. But the fact is, they don't have the resources. They don't have the Navy. They don't have the military force to be able to shut the Straits of Hormuz. Now, is there something that could, we could probably come up with really an oddball scenario where you go in, you sink some ships, you do some things to create hazards and what have you, and shut it down for some period of time. I don't even think that's going to happen. There are two things here you have to keep in mind. One is that, thanks to Donald Trump and the American oil and gas industry, we are producing more oil and gas than ever in the history, and we will continue to do that. And given the signal, Americans and our allies, for that matter, can really develop a lot of oil and gas, and that's what's really important here. We've got export facilities along the Gulf Coast of America. You got a company like Venture Global that's out there really expanding their ability to deliver LNG. So the mid-1970s, when we saw the shutdown, the restriction, I don't think we're ever going to live through that again, because American innovation, American business acumen, the American wildcatter spirit is very much alive and well in the United States, will supply that energy needs for the world.
And that's a fine thing. Mr. Secretary, the FBI is investigating a mass shooting at a bar near the UT campus in Austin, Texas. It's a possible act of terrorism. The alleged gunman reportedly arrived in the U.S. in 2000 on a B-2 tourist visa during the Clinton administration. He eventually became a U.S. citizen under Obama. So, do you think this is a sleeper cell, and are there others like it?
Well, we don't know. But the fact is, the signals here are pretty strong that this is a radicalized individual. Stuart, for me, this gets back to an even more important basic issue. We as a country have to get this immigration issue under control. Put a process into place where you vet these individuals, who who they are. You look back over the, particularly the Biden years, and this open border, anybody that wants to come in, come on in. It's just absolutely nonsensical. And Americans are paying a price, whether it's young women who have been murdered by these individuals who have come in, or as late as this last week when we saw what happened downtown Austin, Texas, with this radicalized individual, or it appears to be. I'll give the benefit of the doubt a little bit, but it appears that this is going to be an individual who was radicalized, who hated America. It goes back, listen, Stuart, think about these Columbia University students who posted "Death to America." We don't need to put up with that. That needs to stop. Columbia doesn't need to get another dime of money from America, from American taxpayers, for allowing that type of radical institutional hatred to the United States. Unacceptable.
Well said, sir. Rick Perry, we always appreciate you being with us. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome, Stuart. Good to be with you, brother.